Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of Patient Stories. My name is Amy Smoot, and I am joined tonight by my oldest kid who is going to interview me. Say hi.
Hi, my name's Jamie.
Welcome, Jamie. We are glad to have you on the show. We are glad to have you here asking your mommy lots of questions. So, with that, I've never really spoken much about my diagnoses or my need for cannabis, simply because I have always been focused on the people that need it more than I do, which is pretty much everybody. But on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Jamie, and she's going to ask me some questions, and we'll go from there. Welcome, Jamie.
Hi. First, tell us a little bit about yourself.
The first thing I'm going to say is if you're going to do this, you got to talk louder.
Okay. First, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Most of you know my name is Amy. I'm 38 years old. I am a used to be an emergency medical technician, worked in emergency medicine for a lot of years, and I broke my heel jumping a 6 foot fence while wearing flip flops playing with my kids. And so that ended my career. I have 4 kids. Two of them are grown, married, living on their own. I'm expecting my first grandbaby any day now. And then I have Jamie, who is 15, and Paul Taylor, who is 6. So that's a little bit about me. And I'm married, been married for 16 years. So anyway.
Next, can you walk us through your diagnoses and all your medical issues?
Okay, so for my diagnoses, I wrote them down so that I did not forget any of them, or I would try my best. Um, I have migraine headaches. I have gastroparesis, where things don't move through your stomach like they're supposed to. I have cyclic vomiting syndrome, which means that I can vomit sometime for days and days on end, and nothing really seems to help. I have ovarian cyst. I've had a partial hysterectomy, but I do still have one ovary, and I have ovarian cyst and pain from those. I have, of course, chronic, constant, debilitating pain in my left heel due to that fracture in my 20s. And then I had surgery. The surgery failed. So I have a failed fusion in my left heel. Um, I have neuropathy because of that injury. And I also have what's called complex regional pain syndrome, which can cause a lot of different things related to and caused by your pain.
Can you tell us about the medications that you've been prescribed and all the side effects?
Okay, so I take about 12 prescription medications total. Um, I take pain medication specifically 4 times a day. That medication just allows me to do the normal minimal part of life, to get up, to interact with my children, to do laundry, to do most of those things. That's what my pain medicine allows. Now, my stomach medicines, of course, they keep me from puking, but all of these have side effects. So if I have a really bad migraine day and I have to take migraine medicine, the next day I'm kind of stuck in hungover mode from the migraine medicine. Sorry, guys, I'm not trying to not look at the camera. From the migraine medicine. And of course, narcotics, having to take those 4 times a day for my foot is never fun, and it started to damage my liver. So we're trying to find other options for me.
At what point did you learn about cannabis being used for pain patients?
I have a really progressive pain doctor, pain management doctor, who I have seen for over a decade now. He is brilliant. He comes up with a lot of new treatments for pain. He was a neurologist before he went into pain specialty. So he's got a lot of knowledge just about the brain and how the brain works and how the brain responds to pain. So my pain physician is actually the first person that talked to me about cannabis being used for pain patients because I'm taking Marinol currently for my pain. So when he put me on the Marinol, he explained what Marinol was and how and why they thought it worked for pain patients.
After learning about medical cannabis being used, how long did you consider if it would help you?
It didn't take me long to consider it. Quite frankly, there's a lot of information out there on cannabis, medical cannabis, and its benefits of helping people with pain, seizures, stomach issues, neurological issues, you name it, pretty much. There's evidence out there. So it didn't take me long to consider if it would help me.
How hard is it for you to financially recover from medical care?
Well, my medical care, like I have about $300 a month in prescriptions alone. And then all of my doctor's appointments, I have copays that I have to pay that range anywhere from $30 to $50, depending on the doctor, if it's a specialty. We are a one income family. So my child can attest to this that we don't have a lot of money. There is a lot of financial strain in this household. Being a one income household and having one member of the household that's sick and not able to contribute, it's a major toll.
Do you require hospitalization frequently?
Thankfully, not anymore. There was a point in time in my life where I was in and out of the hospital for an entire year for my stomach before they really diagnosed what was going on with my stomach and what was causing issues. So, but now I don't go to the hospital. I avoid it at all costs because they're not very helpful. When I go, they think I'm seeking drugs, and I'm like, no, I have all kinds of prescribed medicines. They're not helping. That's why I'm here. Um, so I haven't been to the hospital in a while.
Of all the medications you take, the price of those has to be really excessive.
Yeah, as I spoke to earlier, my prescriptions alone are about $300 a month. So that is high, but it is not near as expensive as what a lot of people pay for medication. So I'm really very, very lucky.
How many FDA approved medications do you take? Stop laughing at
Don't you
me.
love the way that was delivered? My child through and through. Okay. I take 12 FDA approved medications, and it just allows me to function. I do not have a great life. My kid can attest there's days that I spend in bed. Sometimes there's a few days that I stay in bed. Sometimes there's days that they have to take care of their younger sibling because mom is sick. So,
What future do you see possible with cannabis as a treatment option for people with their same diagnoses?
from my physician speaking to me, I have been told that if you find the right strain of cannabis that works, that you can pretty much become pain free. So that's where I would like to be. I would love to work again. I miss working. It is my soul, it's my heart to help people. Um, I would love to get back into medicine and change it. It needs so much change. Um, I also see mainly one thing I've really missed is being to actively participate in my kids' lives. I was able to go to field trips and things before I broke my foot. And my kids can tell you I can't participate in anything that requires walking. We haven't been to the zoo and I can't remember how long because
And not
I
just because of COVID, also because of her foot.
because I'm just not physically able to get around. So I hope one day when medical cannabis is legal in this state, that I'm able to experiment with it and try to find a strain that will eliminate my pain and allow me to not only function but perform on my foot. That's my hope.
Certain politicians like to talk about the legality and availability of CBD. Have you ever tried CBD, and can you tell us about your experience of it if you have?
I have tried CBD. I've tried full extract CBD, which contains that point 0.3 of THC that it's legally allowed to have. Excuse me, I have a cough. And it did not bring me much relief at all. So I tried the oil. I have tried CBD flower specifically. I have tried CBD edibles. None of them brought me the level of pain relief that I'm currently able to attain from my medications.
Others seem like the saying just to move where it's legal. Wait, others seem to like the saying just move to where it's legal. Why is that not feasible for you?
As I said, we are a one income family. We don't have money to save, to put away, to be able to move to out of state. It is a very expensive um, venture to try to move. We don't own a home, we rent, so we wouldn't have any money to take with us to purchase that, put as a down payment, etc. So it's not just as easy as pick up and move. I have my dad here. I have my mother-in-law here, both of whom are getting older. And as they age, I want to be available to help them if they get sick. My kids are invested in their school system here. They have friends. Um, you're a sophomore in high school, so picking up and moving and uprooting you in your sophomore year of high school is not a great idea. So it's just not feasible financially and otherwise for our family.
Switching gears a bit here, let's talk about Mississippi and their legalization. When did you learn about like Initiative 65? And did you ever think that 65 would pass?
No, I did not think Initiative 65 would pass at all. I learned about it probably about 2.5, 3. It's been a few years. Um, and when I first heard about it, I honestly thought there's no way that this is even gonna get 30% of the vote. Just operating in our small circle here in Olive Branch, where we live, there didn't seem to be too many people that were interested in voting for medical cannabis. There were a lot of people that didn't understand its benefits. And so I just did not foresee it winning at all.
How did you feel when it passed with overwhelming nonpartisan support?
I cried real tears like a little baby. I bawled my eyes out because for the first time since I have been a Mississippi resident that's been voting, I felt like we had the ability to change something. And that doesn't happen often when you pass something with nonpartisan. We had Republicans and Democrats who supported our initiative and voted to make it a reality. So it absolutely blew me away when it passed. I didn't have words. I was speechless.
Other than me feeling like shattered, how did you feel about the Supreme Court's decision?
Also speechless. It took my breath away. Because I knew there would be people, excuse me, I knew there would be patients who suffered tremendously because of their lack of access to safe medical cannabis. As I've said from the get go, I'm in this fight for the kids. I've always been in this fight for the kids. It has never been about me. So it broke me. when the Supreme Court sided on that side. It felt like we could never win this.
What's one thing that you want to tell the legislators as we wait for this bill to be passed or published?
Come on. People are waiting. Sick people. Seizing children. Dying grandmothers. Cancer patients. Alzheimer's patients. Pain patients. Arthritis patients. We could be here all day. ADHD patients. Tourette's patients. Please hurry. We don't have much time left. Some of these patients don't have the option of time. We've got to get something done. And now, that's what I would tell them.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we end?
I'd like to add thank you. I really appreciate you jumping in to help and getting this out there. Like I said, I've never been one of telling my story, but this week has been, it's kind of funny. My dad brought this to me today. It's been shitty. My week has been shitty.
You gotta do it like a makeup YouTuber.
Sorry. I'm not hip with the lingo, kids. The week has been shitty, so hush. I am appreciative that you would jump in here and spend time with mom, doing what mom loves, even though there are other things you could be doing. So thank you.
No problem.
Hope to have you back soon. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up for episode 4 of Patient Stories with Amy and
Jamie.
And I will see you guys hopefully very soon. Take care.